Hi my angels and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a full face of E.L.F. and this is what we are working with. I have gone all pastel for this look. I'm feeling the pastel vibes and I feel like every single spring and summer I do feel the pastel love. So if you want to know my thoughts on all the products that I've used and to create this look as well using all E.L.F. products which are all super affordable, then please keep watching. Hi guys, so I've got a full face of E.L.F. products here in front of me and I'm going to start off with primer. So I'm going to use the Poreless Putty Primer to begin with, and it looks like this. It kind of reminds me of the Tatcha primer and I love that primer. So let me just get like a little bit of this. Oh yeah, it feels exactly like that in terms of texture. It's kind of like a creamy, I wouldn't say it's a putty primer. I'd probably say it's like more of a creamy primer, but I'm just gonna get this all onto my face and make sure it's nice and smoothed out so that it's prepped and ready for the foundation. That actually feels so nice and smoothing on my skin. It's gonna be very interesting to see how the foundation looks on top of this. And speaking of foundation, I'm gonna be using the Camo Cc Cream. Now I've used this before and I love it. It's very, very, very full coverage. And I kind of feel like I don't really want super full coverage right now. So I'm just gonna start off with adding a little bit into the areas that I want. So for those of you who have no idea what that was Tupac. He rings the bell when he needs to go for a wee. Here's my dog son, aren't you? Yeah. Here's my little fluffy son. Yeah. And now he's gonna go and snooze by the window. In the sun, aren't you? Yeah. So this is a color correcting full coverage natural finish foundation. It's got collagen peptides and niacinamide, and it's also got an SPF of 30, and this is quite full coverage, so I'm only going to use the tiniest amount and get that all onto my face. And I'm actually using a beauty sponge from E.L.F. as well, so it'll be interesting to see how all of this comes together and how it looks on my skin. So I've got this on to my face and it's really helped even my entire skin tone out. The color that I'm using is light 240W and it's almost a perfect match. I feel like I could go a little bit darker, but I love that this still looks like my skin. I only put one pump of it onto my face, and of course these sponges do soak up a little bit of the excess, but let me show you a close up. This is what my skin is looking like. You can still see the freckles through it. This is actually a really nice foundation to wear as like a day-to-day wear because it's got the SPF in there and it's also got skincare benefits in it as well, and it doesn't break the bank either. And it's really easy to put on. I'm going to move on to concealer, and I've got two options here. These are the Flawless Brightening Concealers. I've got them in two different shades. One of them is medium and one of them is light. I think I'm going to go in with medium and see how I go with that. And I feel like this is one of those touche éclat style highlighters, so I'm just going to get some of this out. So I'm just going to get this onto the usual areas that I like to brighten my face. I think I might actually mix the two shades together just to get the brightness exactly how I want it. Because right now this is actually looking a little bit like the foundation shade, maybe a little bit peachier than the foundation shade. I'm going to get this shade. This is light 23C. I'm going to get some of this on top. It's quite thin in consistency, so I feel like I'm going quite heavy-handed on this. But now I'm just going to go ahead and blend everything out with that same damp beauty sponge and see what we're working with. That blended out so nicely. I feel like this concealer would be really good for people who want fuss-free makeup because that was so easy to blend out. But for me personally, I like my concealer to be heavier than my foundation, especially for like every day-to-day wear. When it's like I'm going all out, then I want like more of medium coverage to full coverage everywhere. But for more of a day-to-day basis, I personally prefer a lighter base and a heavier concealer. So I would want something a little bit heavier than this. But saying that, it looks so nice on my under eyes. My under eyes still look really nice and hydrated. They don't look dry. And overall, that's really, really nice. I've just done my brows off camera and I realised I have 0 E.L.F. brow products, but what I will do is I will leave a link below to like the most highly rated E.L.F. brow products. So please don't forget to check that out. And I think I'm going to move on to my eyes next. I feel like I'm a bit of a pastel queen at the moment. I just love pastels, so I thought I'd do a very easy pastel eye. And I got some of this minted collection through from them, so I think I'm just going to do like a very, very quick and easy eye with that. So here I've got the No Budge eyeshadow in the shade Mint For You, and I'm just going to get that onto my eyelids and make sure it's all blended out before I go on top with the eyeshadow. That was very, very creamy, really easy to blend out. I mean, I did it with my fingers. It is kind of tugging off the colour in certain areas. I feel like it's not as pigmented as it should be, but maybe if I just let that dry down a little bit, I'm just going to add a bit more on this corner because it's definitely come off there. But I'm going to let that kind of dry down a little bit before I go into my eyeshadow. For eyeshadow, I'm going to take this little palette right here. This is the Mint Melt eyeshadow palette, and it's the Mint to Be shade as well. And I think I'm just going to take a little bit of this colour right here, and I'm going to press that onto my eyelid. And I'm just going to put that on with my finger as well, just to get that colour really packed onto it. That looks so pretty on the eyes. I'm going to zoom you guys in. This is what it looks like. And considering I just used my fingers, that's a really, really good payoff. But now I'm going to add a little bit of a transition shade into my crease. And I'm going to use this palette right here. This is the Fiji cheek palette. So you've got a blush and a bronzer in there. And I'm just going to get the bronzer shade. Just something easy. I don't want to go too crazy with this eye. And also, I feel like this is a really nice summery look to wear, especially if you love pastels like me. I'm going to pop some mascara on. This is the Lash It Loud Volumizing Mascara. It's got one of those plastic kind of ones, and I love these. So I'm just going to get this onto my lashes and wiggle it all the way through them. And I'm going to add this onto my top and lower lashes on both of my eyes. I feel like I'm quite impressed with that mascara. I feel like it's really curled my lashes, it's added some volume. I think the first layer that I did, it was just kind of building things up, and then once I went in with that second and third layer, it really added that like curl and volumizing effect. So yeah, really like that. But now I'm going to move on to my cheeks, and I'm going to get this bronzer shade right here from the Fiji palette, and I'm going to get that onto the usual areas that I like to bronze my face. So that's on my cheekbones, around my jawline, and my hairline as well. I feel like back in the day, everyone used to use this palette, and it was like supposed to be a dupe for like NARS. But yeah, I feel like this blended out really nicely. It is very, very pigmented, so you literally need the tiniest amount, but I feel like it looks really nice on my skin. It's blended in really, really nicely, and I've got a decent amount of pigment on there. And I was going to actually use this as my blush, but I actually have some of this putty blush right here. I don't actually know what shade it is, but I'll leave a link to it below. It looks like this, and I love a cream blush, so I'm going to get this onto my cheeks. I'm going to take this pointy end from this blender. Oh, okay, you have to really kind of get into it. I thought it'd be really pigmented, but I've got it on my sponge, and I'm going to get it onto my cheeks. Oh my god, I actually really, really like this. It kind of reminds me of the Fenty cream blushes that I love. I seem to wear them like all the time, especially when it gets like warmer months. Since last year when they launched, I haven't been able to stop using them. But yeah, I really like this. It's very, very subtle. You could probably get away with wearing this on like no makeup kind of skin, and it would still look just as beautiful. I feel like it's definitely taken some of the foundation off though, because I can see my freckles a little bit more, especially on my nose area, but I'm not mad at that. I feel like that just makes everything look a little bit more natural. Really, really, really like this. I feel like I have no highlight here, so we're just going to leave it as that. And then for lips, I'm going to take this right here. This is the Hydrating Lip Shine. I've been using this all the time. It's been on my desk, and yeah, I love this. I love it on like no makeup days as well, but actually I have this right here, which is an E.L.F and Jen Atkin collab. It's like a lip liner and lipstick duo, but I think I'm just going to take the liner end, which is on this side, and line my lips with it and fill them in before moving on to the other lip product. Got that on my lips, and now I'm going to get this on. This is called Joyful, and it is the Hydrating Core Lip Shine, and I want to say that this is like a tinted lip balm. It's got this little heart in the middle, which is pretty much a balm, and then it's got the colour on the outside, and it's so comfortable to wear, and it's a really beautiful like everyday shade. I'm going to take some of this Zero Effort liner, and I'm going to tight line my waterlines just to make sure that the whole area there just looks really nice and complete. That eyeliner is very good. Just one swipe and you have so much pigment on that, as you can see. So yeah, really impressed with that eyeliner. And I think the final step is I'm just going to pop some of this mist on. This is the Jen Atkin and E.L.F collab Mist Me Spray. So I'm just going to get this sprayed onto my face, and that is going to be the final step. So this is the end of this full face of E.L.F. It's a very, very easy makeup look. I just wanted to test out a bunch of different products, and I'm really happy with the way that my makeup is looking. If I had to pick my top 3 products from this full face of E.L.F., it would definitely have to be the Putty blush. I love this. I feel like I'm going to be using this a lot more this year. I love, 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 love this Hydrating Core Lip Shine. I use it all the time already. And then I think the last one will have to be, do you know what? I'm going to go for the Zero Effort Liner. I thought it was actually very, very easy and so pigmented. I've got so many lines on my hand, but so pigmented. I was really, really, really impressed. I generally find it quite hard to find a eyeliner that is very like just pigment, and that definitely gave me that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this short little full face of e.l.f. video. Please let me know your favorite e.l.f. products in the comments below. I will list all of the products that I've used for this makeup look in the description box, and I will hopefully see you all in my next video.